Did you know your liver is responsible for healing muscles, tendons, ligaments, and nerves? That's right, the organ that you thought was just a detox filter is actually your recovery control center. Did you know that it also helps reduce all over body swelling, creates the acid that stops heartburn, and helps you get into deep, healing, restorative sleep? If you've been inflamed, puffy, stiff, tired, or just not bouncing back from injuries like you used to, then this might be the piece of your health story that's been missing. And if your liver's not doing well, you stay sore, inflamed, foggy, frustrated. This is one of the most overlooked reasons people don't heal, even when they're doing everything else right. So let's unpack what your liver is really doing behind the scenes and what happens when it's overwhelmed. The liver does way more than you think. Most people think the liver's job is to filter alcohol and help with hangovers, and it does, but that's barely scratching the surface. Your liver is basically your body's multitasking superhero, and if it's tired or overworked, it can't do any of these jobs well. Did you know that your liver is behind way more than just detoxification? That's like saying your smartphone is good for only making calls. Your liver is a multitasking powerhouse working around the clock to perform hundreds of essential functions. One of its key roles is producing hydrochloric acid, HCl, which is critical for digesting food properly and preventing issues like acid reflux. It also plays a major role in regulating inflammation by efficiently processing toxins, hormones, and waste. Beyond that, your liver produces the raw materials that your body needs to repair and rebuild muscles, tendons, ligaments, and nerves. If you're waking up with puffy hands, inflamed joints, or that "I feel like a balloon" sensation, your liver may be overwhelmed and struggling to reduce systemic swelling. It also makes bile salts, which helps break down fats and carry toxins out of the body. And when it comes to sleep, your liver even supports your ability to fall into deep, restorative REM sleep, the kind that promotes healing, calms inflammation, balances blood sugar, and helps with healthy weight loss. When your liver is running well, you sleep better, digest better, heal better, inflammation goes down, and your body feels light and flexible. When your liver is overloaded, you feel it everywhere. Swollen fingers or puffy face in the morning, trouble bending down or holding positions because of joint inflammation. Healing slows, bloating stays, and you have more aches, slower injury recovery, stubborn belly fat, and restless sleep. And here's the kicker. Liver problems often don't show up on blood tests until the liver is already running at less than 30% capacity. By the time the labs flag it, you've already been struggling for months or years. If you want better memory, better healing, and better energy, your liver and brain need to be working together. Let me tell you about a woman who came into my clinic. She was a 45-year-old mother of two, hadn't worked out in a while. She was a former yoga lover, just trying to get back into shape. She told me that back in her 20s, yoga was her happy place. She practiced several times a week, felt strong, flexible, and clear. But then life happened. Kids, work, stress, and she fell out of the habit. Finally, she was ready. So she signed up for a weekend class. But when she walked into my office on Monday, she looked crushed. She told me, "I used to flow through yoga like it was nothing. But when I went back last weekend, she tried a class and said, I couldn't do anything. Downward dog, my wrist screamed. Upward dog, my lower back locked up. My knees felt like they were on fire." She ended up stuck in child pose, hiding in the back of the room, embarrassed, in pain, and heartbroken. She looked at me and said, I feel broken. The first thought that came to my mind was, we need to look at your liver. Because when your liver's backed up and inflamed, your whole body goes into protective mode. The muscles tighten, the tissue stays swollen, healing shuts down. You can foam roll, stretch, eat clean, but until your liver gets a break, you're swimming upstream. Because a sluggish liver doesn't just affect digestion or energy, it sets the tone for everything from inflammation to tissue repair. And if we don't fix it, even your best efforts at healing can fall flat. So what really happens when your liver gets overloaded? Here's the thing. Your liver's like the project manager of your body. Every morning, it wakes up with a list. Clean out old hormones, patch up a sore shoulder, reduce puffiness in your fingers, clear the toxins out from your gut, regulate blood sugar, keep inflammation from lighting fires. But if your liver is already backed up with junk, it's like showing up to work and someone dumping 5,000 emails, a broken printer, and a backed up toilet on your desk. You get nothing done. So instead of healing, your body just manages symptoms. It stays in defense mode, inflamed, swollen, and tired. And that's when people come to me and say, I don't heal like I used to. My back used to respond to treatment. Now it's just stuck. I get a bruise and it takes a week or even more to fade. Nothing I do seems to help. That's a liver waving a white flag. But here's the good news. The liver is one of the fastest healing organs in the body. But it needs two things: less burden and more fuel. Let's start with what bogs it down. Heavy meals loaded with meat, dairy, and fried food. Processed oils and sugar, medications and alcohol, and daily toxins from water, makeup, plastics, and air. Even protein. That's right, meat, fish, and eggs are hard for a sluggish liver to process when it's already exhausted. So, for just a few weeks, I often recommend removing those. Not forever, just enough to let the liver catch up. Instead, fuel your liver with the foods that it thrives on. Think cruciferous vegetables like kale, kohlrabi, cauliflower, broccoli, and Brussels sprouts. Add in beets to help thin the bile and get detox pathways flowing. Lemons, garlic, dandelion, and artichoke are also among the liver's favorite snacks, all known to support cleansing and repair. And don't forget beans, lentils, and plant-based proteins. They're gentler on the liver and much easier to process than heavy animal proteins. It's like sending your liver on a spa retreat. Instead of fighting to digest steak, it gets to deep clean your body and finally focus on healing. Let's talk about something that most people don't realize. Your liver and inflammation are deeply connected. In fact, if you're dealing with swelling, joint pain, or that puffy all over feeling, your liver might be right in the middle of it. So let's dive into how this powerful organ plays a leading role in calming or contributing to inflammation throughout your body. When your liver is working well, it helps flush out the stuff that keeps you inflamed, such as excess hormones, built-up toxins, processed junk, and old cellular debris. When it's overwhelmed, that junk stays in the system and your body gets the message. We're in danger. Stay inflamed to protect ourselves. That's why those yoga poses feel impossible. That's why pain flares up when you start moving again. It's not because you're weak. It's because your internal environment isn't set up for healing yet. I have patients that come in for treatment frustrated, saying that they don't heal as fast as they used to. They get a cut, bruise, or minor injury, and it takes forever to heal and feel better. I even have more difficult cases where my patients that have had horrible car accidents and the therapy that used to work from previous major injuries no longer do. In addition to working on the injured regions like their neck, low back, knees, headaches, etc., I also work on the liver to help rebuild it. It's the easiest organ to rebuild if you know how to. First, you need to give it the fuel that it needs and loves to regenerate. Cruciferous vegetables, kale, kohlrabi, Brussels sprouts, etc. Also eliminate complex proteins like meat and fish and eggs for a few weeks. Here's an example of why that matters. Let's say you wake up and your liver's ready to go. It's saying, okay, I got a lot to do today. I'm gonna fix that aching shoulder, clean up some inflammation in the joints, detoxify the gut. I'm gonna start to help you sleep better. Then you head to the Hungry Heifer and proceed to order the pounder with potatoes, rolls, and the soda. And your liver just sighs and says, well, there goes my day. All of its energy now must go into digesting this heavy load. There's no bandwidth left for detox repair or inflammation control. So your joints stay swollen, your gut stays irritated, and you simply don't heal. So basically, heavy food equals delayed healing, but lightening the load, and that's where recovery begins. By temporarily removing these complex proteins and feeding your liver what it loves, things like beets, greens, cruciferous vegetables, it finally gets the break it needs to regenerate. And no, you won't lose out on protein. Plants, beans, and legumes have plenty. They contain simple proteins that are easier for the liver to process while it's rebuilding. My mom used to babysit for my brother's kids, 2 little girls and a boy. One day, they saw her get down on the floor to play dollhouse, roll monster trucks, and even shoot a few hoops with a mini basketball. They were all wide-eyed because their other grandmother couldn't do that. She was too frail, too achy. Years later, I told that story to a patient of mine who couldn't even imagine what she'd do if she started feeling better again. She had been in pain for so long that she forgot what it was like to want anything. Weeks into care, when she started to feel better, she called me one day and said, "Guess where I am right now?" I said, "I don't know where you are right now." She goes, "I'm on the floor, playing with my grandkids." She was so thrilled to tell me. Her voice cracked, and I knew her liver had started to come back online, and so had she. So if you've been trying to get back in shape and your body keeps pushing back, don't ignore the signal. Don't write it off as age. Look at your liver. Because when you support it, when you reduce its toxic burden, nourish it, and let it breathe, it starts to show up for you in big ways. You don't have to stay stuck in child's pose. Your body can heal. And I'll show you how. If this connected with you, hit subscribe, because the next one builds right on top of this. You deserve the whole story, and I won't stop until you have it. It unfolds with every video. Well, that's it for today's video. I hope you picked up some tips that you can actually use. If you want to keep learning, your next video is waiting for you right here. And hey, if I've earned it, hit the subscribe button and give this a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow.